Welcome to the Modern Wealth Channel. My name is Roger, and my goal is to have as many people invested into the stock market as possible. And I want to teach it in the most simplest way where a 13-year-old just learning or a 65-year-old taking over their finances can have the confidence and gain some knowledge in order to put their money to work for them. This is the stuff they should have taught us in high school. When I was first learning, I realized there are levels to gaining wealth. The first is taking the stairway where you're going step by step, maybe paycheck to paycheck, working a job you don't really like. Hopefully you retire at 65 and have a good life after that. And at one point, I was one of those people living paycheck to paycheck. And I remember saying, I'm not doing this anymore. And I Googled who is the richest person in the world. And at that point, it was Bill Gates. And I saw that he had all of his money in Microsoft stock. So I started wondering, why don't I have my money in Microsoft stock? Why is my money sitting in a bank collecting dust, being destroyed by inflation? And that's how I got into the stock market. The next level is the escalator, where you gradually grow your income. Maybe you learn the basics of investing. You're buying some index funds. You're maxing out your 401k. You're saving your money. You have minimal debt. And you are growing your money to retirement so that you can retire early with a little bit more money and have more time to do the things that you like. And the level we should all strive for is the elevator to wealth. And that's investing wisely, mastering your craft, picking stocks that are winners, and growing your wealth so fast you don't retire at 65. You retire earlier and you work at something that you love doing. And that should be the goal. Financial freedom so that we can do the things that we want to do. Now, in my first video of the series, the first topic is going to be why you need to be invested in the stock market. And the first and most important reason is because the dollar is being devalued in front of our very eyes. The government is printing so much money. They are stealing our money from us. We have to work harder and harder for less and less money. Is it me, or has everything gotten more expensive? Insurance, cars, housing, groceries, don't get me started. I stopped eating. I don't eat anymore. Groceries are too expensive. Everything has doubled in the past 5 years. And in the last 25 years, we lost 87% of the value in the dollar. The government is printing so much money. We are $37 trillion in debt and counting. They're diluting our money so much that everything costs much more. And that's the way the system is right now. Everything is rigged to funnel the money to the top. While institutions and the wealthiest people are getting richer, we are feeling the pain. Do you know that 10% of the wealthiest Americans own 85% of the stock market? That is an imbalance that I feel if I am able to make a dent in by having more people invest by this channel, then I will be happy. I want you to realize that there's one way to grow our money, and that is by riding the coattails of these institutions and these billionaires, and that is by the stock market. In the year 2000, if you put $10,000 under your bed and you just let it sit there, right now in 2025, inflation adjusted, it's worth around $2,000, meaning the value of your dollar has devalued over 80% in 25 years. And that's because of them printing money. That same $10,000, if you put it in Apple stock in the year 2000, right now, it would be worth $2.1 million. That is the power of the stock market I am trying to show you. Now, I know every stock isn't going to go up by 21,000%, but if you pick wisely, if you pick winners, then your money is going to go up a great amount more than it's going to go down over the years. Inflation is killing the value of our dollar. If you put that same money into the stock market, then you are riding a wave. You're putting your money in a boat, and that boat is riding the tide to wealth, with all the other institutions and billionaires doing the same thing, because all the assets are growing instead of shrinking like the dollar. I'm trying to show you a mindset, give you the knowledge that there are levels to wealth. They do not want you to own McDonald's stock. They want you to make their French fries, and they want you to manage their restaurants to make money for their corporations. There are winners, and then there's everyone else. You have to decide which one you want to be. Only 50% of Americans own stocks or have money in 401ks right now. We are not invested enough. Only 37% of millennials are invested in the stock market right now, compared to the 70% of baby boomers that are invested. That is a huge divide that I would like to address by getting younger people invested in the stock market. Now, the reason why that is because a lot of younger people, a lot of millennials remember the stock market crashes of 2008 and just recently the pandemic 2020 crash. People were losing over 50% of their life savings in a flash. I'm not saying the stock market isn't risky. It is. But if you look at those graphs and if you held onto those stocks, you never sold, then right now you are in the green. You are positive. The QQQ, the NASDAQ, and the S&P are the highest it's ever been. So if you bought 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, right now you made money. Assets grow while money shrinks. And that's why you need to be in the stock market. Inflation is a river just eroding away your cash. What we need to do is invest our money, which is like buying a boat and riding that river into wealth. Thanks for tuning in. In my next video, I'm going to talk about what the stock market is, get you familiar with it so you can feel more comfortable investing your money. I appreciate you. Give me a like and subscribe and tune in for the next one.